Before this puppy came along, and this is the Evic VT Mini, you have this, and this is its big brother, the Evic VT, and I'll tell you what, I did an unboxing for this. A flashy mod, the most beautiful finish I've seen to date on a mod, but the problem is the toggle switch on this, hated it, and because of that, I had to let her go. Kick her to the curb. But this puppy right here, this is a different story. Just like the Evic VT, this thing is gorgeous as well. It also comes with an Ego 1 Mega Tank, different color options, obviously, but the mod is what's different, okay? This mod, it does not have the toggle switch. It's got a USB port on the side, not on the back. You can charge it through your computer, but it also has upgradable firmware, which is another good thing. This thing holds a single 18650. The Evic VT did not. I believe it had a LiPo battery. It's got a magnetic back panel. You pull that sucker off. You can take the battery out, charge it, put another one in, put that one in, or you can just charge it with a USB port. Also, the tank, it's not in the center. It's on the side. This thing is also a lot smaller, more compact. I like the finish better on this. Now, Evic VT, beautiful, but it was glossy. It was a fingerprint magnet. To me, it was a fingerprint magnet. This is not. It's got more of a matte finish. I think this would be great for a newbie. The only con that I found for this is the fact that Joyetech did not include a regular coil head. They included a nickel coil head, a titanium coil head for your temperature control, but they did not include a regular coil head for regular wattage. Joyetech, if you're watching this, you got to include a regular coil head. You got to. Especially if you want this to cater to the newbies or cater to the mainstream vapors. You see what I'm saying? It holds 4 mils of juice. Right now I've got the titanium coil head in here set to 500 degrees at 60 watts, and she's reading at 0.4. And obviously I got the airflow wide open because like I said, this airflow, it's a restrictive lung hit. In temperature mode, you got to take up the temperature. I would say about 550 degrees is where I start for titanium. For nickel, I have to take it up higher, 580, 590, 600 degrees. And it's because these coil heads, the wick holes, the feed holes are so small, the wicking can't catch up. They need to make these coil heads a little bit bigger. The feed hole's bigger for wicking. So yeah, I got the temperature set to 580 degrees. Here we go. That's my speed. Now here's the thing. What I noticed with this and with this tank and with this mod, in temperature, whether you're running titanium or nickel, it jumps fast. It's almost like this thing is set to jump up to 60 watts like that and then boom, pull back. Yeah, it jumps up, it gets hot, and then it pulls back. Some of you guys may like that, some of you guys may not. So what I do is I just take this tank off. I love how matchy it is, but I gotta put something else on here. This really is not my speed. I'm gonna pop my favorite dripper on here, the Velocity. This Velocity RDA is still my favorite, and that's after, shit, 4 or 5 months of using it. Nothing beats it. I don't care what you say, nothing beats it right now. So yeah, right now I've got a dual 0.5 ohm build, vapor at 40 watts. Here we go. Oh yeah, and the airflow, the direct airflow is wide open, the indirect airflow is closed off. So yeah, you can run this thing in temperature mode using titanium, using nickel, and also I want to mention this, you can build her all the way down to 0.05 in temperature mode, okay? That's right up there with the Snow Wolf 200. The only thing difference between the Snow Wolf 200 and this in temperature mode is that in the Snow Wolf 200 you can take her up to 70 watts, whereas this you can only take her up to 60 watts. But as far as building down to 0.05, that's a big plus in my book, especially for a little device like this. You can run it in wattage mode as you guys just saw, but you can also run this thing in bypass mode. You can change this thing up, switch it up to run in mechanical mod mode. This device has a spring-loaded connection up top. Everything that I own fits down and makes a connection and sits down flush. Going back to the screen, and you'll see this in the close-ups, I love this screen. I love how big it is. I love how clear it is. It's easy to adjust. It's easy to get in the menu system. You'll see it. Also, another subjective con I did not mention earlier is that some of you guys out there are not going to like the fact that this is a single 18650 mod. You're just not going to like it. You know what? I think it's about that time we dive down. I'll show you this thing up close and personal. We'll come back and we'll wrap this sucker up. Oh yeah! Alright, so here's the VTC Mini packaging, the Joyetech VTC Mini packaging. Okay, this is a sample, not for sale, and you guys know how I feel about samples. I am not a big fan of them, okay? Down here at the bottom it says variable temperature with changeable battery, and on the front it has a black, an example of a black VTC Mini. But yeah, here's the packaging. You got 3 different color options. You can choose black, white, or cyan. Pop that lid, and the first thing we're going to see is our mod, our cyan mod. Now, the way I see it in person, it is cyan, but the way you guys see it right now, it's like a baby blue. Definitely a baby blue. That's just my exposure. So underneath the mod, we got a warranty card, an instructional manual, And then underneath that, we got our USB cable for upgradable firmware. That's right, this mod has upgradable firmware, and you can also charge it with this USB cable as well. Titanium coil head, which we'll get into in a second, and our matching Cyan Ego 1 Mega. So here's the Ego 1 Mega tank, okay? Now, a few specs for you. She's 56.5 millimeters in height, and then in width, she's 22 millimeters. There's your 510 thread, smooth, smooth, smooth. Non-adjustable 510 pin. Here's your adjustable airflow. You got two slots, one slot on one side, one slot on the other, both sitting parallel, and all you do to adjust it, you just turn. Perfect amount of restrictiveness. Drip tip. She's double O-ringed at the base, okay, and as you guys can see, she is lined with this Delrin. The bore is 6 millimeters in diameter all the way through. Drip tip catch cup up top, and here's the tank section. Everything is built in. You cannot take this thing apart. You can't disassemble it and clean it, is what I'm trying to say. But in order to fill this sucker up, you just pop your dropper in between the shaft section and the tank section, and you just fill her, and she holds 4 mils of juice. And here's the inside of the base section. Here's the coil head. Now notice this, it's got a black ring, okay? Well, it's got a black ring up top. I don't know what the hell that is. Is that like a purple ring down there? This is a nickel coil head. Look at that. Ni 0.2 ohm nickel coil head. And it also comes with a titanium 0.4 ohm coil head, just like the Evic VT kit. But with this one, it's got darker O-rings. On their site, they mark it blue. Navy blue O-rings for nickel coil heads. This is a black and a purple, it looks like. Not good. It needs to be consistent. But here are your feed holes. Vertical coil in there. Base section. And I gotta mention, I mean, I've used this thing for like the last 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Super clean. Super clean. Everything is clean about this. This is just as clean as the Kanger products. Alrighty, so here's the titanium 0.4 ohm coil head that comes with this kit. Red means titanium, and navy blue is supposed to mean nickel. You got 4 feed holes just like the nickel coil head. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. There's your vertical titanium coil. I'm going to go ahead and screw this titanium coil into the base. Now, if you're a newbie watching this and you're interested in buying this product, just know this, the cotton in these coil heads, it needs to be primed up. You can't just fill the tank up, pop it on there, and go. You got to prime it up, and what I mean by prime it, you got to put some drops in there, soak it up, let that cotton saturate or soak in that juice, and then what you do is you fill it up. So I'm going to go ahead and prime this coil up. And today I'm going to be using the well-known Rainbow Nuggets, okay, by my Spotlight line. This stuff is, ooh, is so good. Tastes just like that. Ooh, look at that. Tastes just like that right there. You see that? Oh, yeah. Put a few drops in there. Now, if you flood this coil head, it is completely okay, okay? Just take the coil head out, wipe it off with a paper towel, blow the air slots out, okay, and you'll be good to go. You're better off flooding this thing from the get-go than you are not priming it up enough and then burning the cotton. Time to fill the tank. I'm going to go ahead and leave her wide open because that's the way I like it. Drip tip. Alrighty, so here's the Evic VTC Mini. Here's the cyan version. Now, it looks baby blue. Again, I'm going to keep saying this. It looks baby blue on camera, but in person, this is definitely cyan. So before we get into all the nitty gritty, I got to go over some measuring specs. She's about 82 millimeters in height, about 38 millimeters in width, and then about 22 millimeters in depth. You got your menu screen, your fire buttons, your waters up, waters down buttons, your USB port for upgradable firmware and for charging. You got your spring-loaded 510 connection. Close-up view of that 510 connection. You see that right there? Sample, not for sale. Nice clicky buttons. So here's your magnetic back panel. You can either pull it or you can get your fingernail in there at the bottom and then pull it open like so. Holds 118,650. Nice and clean. Positive side first, or up. Just so you guys know, the battery panel only goes on one way. It rejects it if you turn it upside down. Boom. In order to turn this sucker on, 5 clicks the fire button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you guys can see the power, the voltage, the atomizer, and the battery life. Now, in order to get into the menu screen, all you do is click the fire button 3 times. 1, 2, 3. This will start to flash. You can go ahead and change it from power to bypass, which is mechanical mod mode, to temperature mode in nickel mode, to temperature mode in titanium mode, and then back to power. Now if you hit the wattage down button, it takes you down here, okay, and then you hit the wattage up button to show battery life, to show the puff counter, to show the time, and back to battery life. If you hold down the fire button with nothing on here, it just says no atomizer found. Screw the tank on there, and since we have a titanium coil head in here, we're going to go ahead and switch it to titanium mode. 1, 2, 3. Boom, titanium. And then what we do is we just hit the fire button and we can adjust that, the temperature. I'm going to go ahead and take her down, or take her up. 430 degrees, just to start, just till we break in that coil head, and then we'll take it up. I almost forgot to show you guys this, but we're in titanium. To get in the menu screen, 1, 2, 3, like I showed you before, it starts to blink. Wattage down, makes you scroll down, or allows you to scroll down. Now we're in power to adjust that, the wattage up. And it scrolls pretty fast, but yeah, 1 to 60 watts. Okay, 60, and it does round robin one way, back to 1. But if you overlap, you got to go right back up to 60 again, so you got to be careful. We're going to go ahead and drop down, atomizer. Now look at that, you see that? It says locked. We can unlock it by hitting the wattage up button. Boom, unlock, locked. Wattage down, takes you down to battery again, shows the puff, the time, and then back to battery gauge. And it's the same exact thing for the nickel mode. Alrighty, so to go ahead and take this thing in stealth mode, all we do is hold down the fire button and the wattage down button down at the same time. Stealth on. When I go to fire up, the screen does not light up. Now to go ahead and take her back, hold down the fire button and the wattage down button down at the same time. Screen's back on. Now in order to lock the variable wattage or the variable temperature, all you got to do is hold down the wattage down, the wattage up button down at the same time. She's locked. So when we go ahead and try to adjust the temperature, locked up. Unlock it. Not going to adjust it. Oh yeah. So that right there, boys and girls, the Joyetech VTC Mini Kit. Let's go ahead and take her back to FaceTime. So the guys that manufacture this bad boy, Joyetech, okay, they sent this to me to review for you guys, but there's a shop in the States right now, online retail shop, VaporDNA, VaporDNA.com. I'll have a link in the description. They're selling the full kit with the Ego 1 Mega for $64.99. Now on to the big question, the big answer of the day. Hey Rip, if you'd have lost it today, would you go out tomorrow and buy one? And the answer is, I would do it. I think it's great for a newbie. Compared to the Kangertech, the sub box kit, I prefer this mod way more than the sub box as far as the box mod that comes with that kit. But as far as the tank, the one that comes with the sub box kit is way better than this. But that being said, I do like it. I really like it. I would buy it. For 65 bucks, I think it's a steal. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.